Hello friends! My name is Katja and you are welcome to my channel. This time I decided to make something different.
Last year I wove my own fabric for my national costume. I had scraps of fabric left. I wanted to make something more modern with them. Then I remembered that I had bought sneaker soles at some point to make sneakers. I have never made sneakers, but how hard could it be? I found this free pattern online to make sneakers and I printed it out. Would it work with my sneaker soles? I made a mock-up using some canvas scraps. At this point I felt that the toe box was a bit too narrow, so I cut the ton and the toe box in half to make room. I could see that my stitches stretched at the toe area, so I moved the stitching holes outward and widened the toe box. After a few more mock-ups and small adjustments, I finally moved to the actual fabric. I wanted to have the stripes diagonal as it felt more sporty. I also remembered to add seam allowance for the heel. For the lining, I used cotton canvas. The lining also helped stabilize the fold fabric that I cut in bias. First, I zigzagged all the edges to keep them from unraveling. With the toe box and tongue piece, I zigzagged the lining and the upper together. Then I added a strip of green ribbon to serve as the lace keeper. Next, I sewed the heel seams from both the linings and the uppers. Then I placed the linings and the uppers on top of each other and basted them together along the heel seam and around the edges. I was still a bit worried about the bias cut fabric behaving badly. I felt that more stabilizing wasn't a bad idea, so I decided to add a bit of quilting along the white stripes of the fabric. I made narrow bias binding out of linen. Sewing the bias tape on was quite a challenge. I went along very slowly. This video is sped up 4 times and it's still slow. I marked the hole positions with a pen. Finally, this didn't do any good as the holes in my soles didn't match, and I had to wing it. To sew the sole on, I used sturdy top stitching thread doubled. A long and sturdy needle is a must here. I started from the heel and sewed running stitches to the end of the piece and back. Then I did the other side. At this point I realized that my heel seam wasn't properly centered. I ripped out the stitches and re-sewed them with better alignment. I also tried to mold the heel to a more curved shape while I stitch. Now it is time to make the toe box. I first notched the edge to remove the bulk. Then I sewed gathering threads and gathered the toe edge slightly. The shoe last helps to align the toe cap and the tongue, although it is not compulsory. Now I can pin the toe box to the sides. At the starting point, it is important to catch the toe box piece properly. I use my right hand on the inside of the shoe to hold the toe box in place. It is important to tighten the stitches properly, as loose stitches will leave gaps. At the end, I take a few extra stitches to secure the ends of the toe box. Going back is much easier now that the toe box is secured by the first row of running stitches. Now it's time to make the holes for the laces and add the eyelets. To finish the sneakers, I added black laces. These came out better than I could have ever imagined. I think they look really cool while still carrying the traditional pattern. I took my sneakers to the beach in Ingo on a sunny September evening. This summer has been very rainy in Finland, so there were small brooks coming from the soaked forest that weren't here the last time I visited. My daughter managed to disturb this inhabitant of the beach. Did you see it? It's a grass snake and a completely harmless creature that hid under those rocks. This place looks so peaceful, but people have come here for thousands of years. There are a number of Bronze Age burial mounds scattered around the area. These burial mounds are about 100 meters inland, but they would have been much closer to the water edge during the time when they were built, as the land is still rising here after the last ice age. I'm fascinated by these mounds. There are 3 close to the road where we parked our car. About 500 meters east there is a big hill with more burial mounds. I bet this place was chosen because it has this amazing view. During the Bronze Age, Finns used to cremate the bodies and then buried the remnants under big piles of rocks. However, most of the little trinkets people buried with the dead were robbed from the graves already thousands of years ago. It would be so cool to know who these people were. Were any of them my direct ancestors? Perhaps this mound was erected to the village elder, the other perhaps to a busy farm wife or a child that perished way too early. They would have probably spoken Proto-Finnish, so if I were to time travel back to their time, I could still communicate with them using basic words that have changed only a little. Unlike English, Finnish doesn't seem to change all that much. Thank you for watching and please click that subscribe button. See you soon on another video. Bye!